Hello, Sapphire team. Welcome back to school. Can you believe it? Hey, I hope you had a safe Thanksgiving. Mr. Elder got to Zoom with his whole family since we weren't able to get together physically this year, which was definitely weird. Whew, 2020. We're almost through it, people. Stick with it. Hang in there. Today, we're, as you can see, looking at challenge 3. Now, listen, that's making an assumption. That assumes that you've already done challenge number 2, which was last Friday. When you finished it, you followed the assignment instructions, you sent Mr. Elder a chat message, you did the reflection. If you've done all of that, you're where you need to be. If not, hold up. Please go back. I want you to still go back and do challenge 2. Follow those instructions. Do that first, then come look at challenge 3. This assignment is not due until tomorrow, Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. So you have time to get yourself caught up if you haven't finished challenge 2 yet, but you are definitely getting behind, and I want you to stay on top of things, please. So those of you that are ready for challenge 3, this tutorial, this demonstration is going to take you through the first location. You'll notice down here there are 3 locations, A, B, and C. I'm going to work through letter A so that you understand how to complete the table. I'm also going to set the table up. And we also need to find some coordinates. We're going to talk about how to do that. So that's what's coming your way today in this video demonstration. Okay, so as we saw there are 3 locations, A, B, and C, with coordinates. I'm going to work through coordinate A, location A, which is 40 degrees north, 74 degrees west. And I put that on another tab right back here so we can easily see those when we need them. 40 degrees north, 74 degrees west. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to come to the first map I see. And this is where I need to plot those points, A, B, and C. So we are looking for, one more time, 40 degrees north, 74 degrees west. Well, 40 degrees north, if I zoom in a little bit, and most of you know you can do that by spreading your fingers on your mouse area of the Chromebook. I need 40 north. Here's 40 west. This is a line of longitude then. 50 west is longitude. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 west. I don't even have to see the labels. I saw enough here to be able to tell that. I also see 60 north. And I'm after 40 north. Here's 50 north. So as I come down, here's 40 north. So it seems to me that my line is going to be somewhere along this guy right here. Oh, Mrs. Smith would be so proud of me. There's my 40 degree north latitude. But now I need to also find the longitude, which was what? And we'll come over here. Remember, we have our coordinates here. We got the 40 degrees north. That's the red line you saw. We also need 74 degrees west. So we're going to be looking for 74 degrees west. Right here, I see 70 degrees west. So that's going to be this line here. And then I don't see, wonder what this is. Let's scroll down a little further. Aha, 80 degrees west, 90 degrees west, 100 degrees west. So those are going by 10-degree increments as well. So I need what? 74? 74 degrees west. 74 degrees west. Well, if here's 70 and here's 80, I think halfway between, there's 75, right in the middle of that red circle. 74 has got to be a little closer to 70, doesn't it? Just a little east, a little to the right of the midway point, 75. Okay, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. See how that just worked? The middle of the red circle. So we're going just a little to the east, a little to the right of the middle of this guy, which would be 75. Okay, but we don't want to do it down here. We're going to come back up and find our red line. Here we go. And we want to be in between 80 and 70. The lines are a little closer here because we're getting closer to the North Pole. Remember, all lines of longitude come together at the North Pole. So here we have 75, I'm going to say. 74 is just a little bit off to the east, to the right about there. So that's where we want to go and put our mark. How are we going to put that mark? We're going to have to come back out here and take a look at our tools right up here. And here I'm going to look for a shape. I need a circle. And you come to where you want to put your circle. So gosh, it's going to be right on the coast there, isn't it? Well, that's a little bigger than I want, but that's okay. First, I'm going to change the color. Remember, we never want black. I'm going to go with blue, purple. Purple it is. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to make that circle a lot smaller. And then I need to notice if I do it here, see how it's an arrow pointing one way? If I drag there, it doesn't move the circle. It makes the circle bigger. What I need to do is find where there are 4 arrows pointing out from the center. And at that point, I can click and drag that circle to where I want. And if I need to, I can zoom in to be able to see what I've got going on. Oh, that looks pretty darn good. Let's erase that pen. And there we see my dot. Okay, my dot at 40 degrees north, 74 degrees west. That's the coordinates we need to put, but first we better label this guy. So let's zoom out so we can see our tools again. And I'm going to choose a text box. And I can put it anywhere. I'm going to put it somewhere I can see it. A, that is point A. Click outside the box anywhere you want. And then if you click on the box, now I can resize it. I can make that A even bigger. So it's easier to see. Again, move it so that you have 4 arrows, each of which is pointing away from the center. And at that point, you can click and drag it and try to put it somewhere it's easy to see. I can tell that that purple dot is labeled location A. And the last thing we need to do is put our coordinates, 40 degrees north and 74 degrees west. 40 degrees north, I'm going to put another text box in here. I'm going to put it out over here just so it's, oh, I can't. I have to put it in here. Sorry, you got to put it inside the map. Learn something new every day. I'm going to put it in parentheses, 40 degrees. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for degrees, you're going to hit, on your Chromebook, you hit Control, and then we hit Shift, and then we hit the letter U. And after that, you're going to hit 0, 0, B as in Bravo, 0. And that should give you the little circle up high, the degree symbol. So we try that. And we get 40 degrees. North, don't forget, it's latitude. You got to say north or south. We're north of the equator. And then we're also 74 degrees, same thing. Control, Shift, U, 0, 0, B, 0 to get the degrees, west longitude. And this little guy, once I click outside of him, I can also resize him a bit. And I don't mind if you make him a little smaller so he fits where you want him to go. But try and make sure we can read those coordinates when you place it. Notice I put that line of longitude right in between the N and the 7 so that we can now read 40 degrees north, 74 degrees west. That is our first point. You will then put the other 2 points on this map. Those other 2 locations, 76 degrees north, 80 degrees west for location B, and 60 degrees north, 147 degrees west for location C. All 3 of these locations are on land, and that's all the more hint that I'm going to give you today. Okay, I think we can handle that. Next, we scroll on down and we're going to get to a big physical map. And as you click through, just like you could on Challenge 2, you can see the physical map, the climate map, the economic activity map, the population density map, and the vegetation zones map. Okay, physical features is first. And that's going to line up with this large table we see down below here. It says start typing here. This is for your notes. Now this is where the team's assignment comes in handy. I'm going to bop over here real quick and show you challenge 3A. This is our team's assignment. And we've done this top part. We're watching the video right now. This tells you the 4 things the video is going to help you with. But what we want is the note guide down here. And this will kind of be like we did once before. Mr. Elders made a note guide for you that you can click on, click and drag. You're going to select the physical features. Do you see that, how it's bold and underlined? It says numbered list of any land features you identify. Okay, that's this down here under land features. We copy this. Now when we paste it, it's not going to look just like that. We're going to have to kind of fix it. Okay, Control C, copy after you highlight it. Control V for paste. Oh, look at that. It looks a little different, doesn't it? But that's okay. You just need to click, hit a return, click, hit a return, click and return, click. If you can click correctly and return, you're done. Okay. Now I don't know if I take that and copy it. I don't know if it'll do it correctly. Nope, it's still going to mess it up. So interesting. I think it's easier just to paste the same thing in all 3 boxes and then clean them each up. That's what I'll be doing from here on out. Elevation, that's feet above sea level. We recognize that. And then we have land features. We need a relative location. Okay, we can do that. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my notes on down. You might want to do the same and pause the video until you've got the whole thing done. We now have 1 row completed for physical features. I'm going to go ahead and do the climate zones one. When we come into climate zones, it's interesting. Notice climate zones and vegetation zones look exactly the same. You're going to give us the name or names of the zone or zones, and then the definitions of any zones you have. So I'm going to copy climate zones, and I'm actually going to paste it all the way through in both climate and vegetation. Okay, Control V for paste. And then I'm going to go ahead and just straighten that up by making definitions go to a new line. And we are now done with climate zones and vegetation zones. Not bad. We're up to population density. That says people per square mile. Yep, that makes sense. Rural or urban, and nearby cities. And if there aren't any, we're going to say none. People per square mile, boom. Rural or urban, boom. Nearby cities. Same here. Same here. And I'll go ahead and clean them up real quick. You'll find, folks, that this isn't too bad if you just kind of do it all at once. Oh, wrong side of the R. Sorry. Rural or urban, nearby cities. Finally, we have economic activity, and that's going to be the last one we need to worry about. Looks like we have 2 options, land use or resources, Control C, and we're going to make a numbered list of any items we identify nearby of land use and resources in economic activity. Okay, piece of cake. We'll come back and do that together in just a moment for the first one. Land use, boom. Resources, boom. And the same. Sorry, you're having to hear me click like mad here, I'm sure. Okay, there you go. Our table is now set for notes. All right, my goal will be to bring you through location A. We're going to take a look here at location A, and I'm going to help you do the notes for this column to make sure you know what I'm expecting. And then you, on your own, by tomorrow night at 9:30, need to finish location B and location C as thoroughly and accurately as you can, making sure you get the right coordinates plotted, which is tough on this map, and also the key characteristics that you see once you've plotted it. So coming back now up top to our map, location A, I want to take just a minute to look at this. And folks, I would recommend you do this. When I look at location A, it is right on I can even make it a little smaller. It is right on the 40-degree north line. It is just to the right of Midway. There we go. It's right on the coast there. This is Long Island. If you know New York, this is Long Island. So it's just south of New York, and it's going to be just north of Delaware. If you don't recognize that here, it might be good to take a look at one of your thematic maps down below to just kind of see we're on this line, 40 degrees, right? We know we're on this line right here. And 74 is going to be right here. Okay, just here's 80, remember? 80 degrees west is this one. 70 degrees west is this one. And we need 74, which is just halfway in between, right on the 40, right on that line, but then a little to the east, a little to the right. And that's what we can see right here. That's going to be our spot, our A spot, right on the coast. Looks like it's in the state of New Jersey. Looks like it's along the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, interesting. See how we're going to use what we find in our thematic maps to help us out here. Okay, so here we go. Coming back up, we've plotted A, we know where it is, we come down here, and now we need to begin doing our table. And for our table, let's see what we've got here. Relative location. Oh, we were just talking about that. I think we're going to have, let's see, between New York and Delaware, on the coast, the Atlantic coast, right? The Atlantic Ocean. Okay, now we need land features. And we also need, so the Atlantic coast is actually a land feature, we could say, down here. If you put Atlantic coast down here, along the Atlantic coast, I don't think you'd be wrong there. Okay, but what else? Let's see what else we can find. I'm going to take this off of up here. You could put it either spot, folks. Okay, elevation we need, and land features. So we come back up to our map. What is the elevation right here? Well, it looks to be green. Would you agree? So let's go to our key. Actually, I might have the key right over here. Yes. So as we look at our key here, that green, let's come back over to it here so we can see it. Remember, we're on 40 degrees north right here. That color green. Well, when we look at the key, I doubt it's below sea level. Probably if it was below sea level, the people in New Jersey would be swimming. So I think it's this color green, 0 to 1,000 feet. 0 to 1,000 feet. And it's not very mountainous here, is it? Yeah, there's the Appalachian Mountains over here. Everybody sees these, the Appalachians. But the Appalachian Mountains are quite a ways away. I mean, if we look at our key, here's 500 miles. So halfway would be 250 miles. Halfway would be 125 miles from there to the zero, from my arrow to the zero. This zone, 125. Well, look back up here. 120. It's about 100 miles to the mountains. This is a long, low, what is this called? Remember, this is a physical feature we learned about. Isn't that a plain? It's a coastal plain. It's along the coast. There isn't a lot of elevation gain there. Okay, So let's go try and record that if we can. Sorry. Now let's come down here then. And in our first box, where we have physical features, elevation, well, it was low. This is along a coastal plain. I'm going to say no mountains. Okay. Elevation was 0 to 1,000 feet. And you can use the single quotation mark for feet if you want. There we go. That is our physical features. Okay. Next, we come down to climate zones. We need the zone and the definition. Well, if we look, we're going to come here for climate zones map. And then we go to the exact same spot we were at before. Mr. Elder's having a hard time with his mouse today. And holy cow, the climate zones, remember, we're at 40 degrees north. We're right on that black line. And that's super important here. I'm going to put on my glasses. Because if we look at this, the darker green color is just a little north of the line. The way I see it, it's this lighter green color. This is the zone we're going to need for a climate zone. Now, which green was it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this darkest green, maybe you're thinking that's it, but that is marine west coast. So that's only going to exist over here on the west coast. That is a darker green than this green over here, which is humid continental, which is a darker green than the green we need right down here, remember, is that lighter green, isn't it? See that? We need the lighter green. It's right on the edge, but 40 degrees north is on the lighter green. And the lighter green is showing as humid subtropical. So with that, we come down and we're going to enter humid subtropical. And now I need a definition of humid subtropical. Remember, to get that, we're going to go to our glossary. The glossary is on the purple sidebar, right? You hit the reference arrow right here, and glossary shows up. And when you click on glossary, up will come the glossary. And we need humid subtropical. Hot, rainy summers and mild winters with some rain. And it is okay, class, if you want to copy that out of the glossary. Please read it as you copy it and paste it into your box. Now, when I did that, I got humid subtropical pasted again. I'm not sure why. I just deleted it. I don't need that. Okay? So we have the zone name, humid subtropical, and its definition: hot, rainy summers and mild winters with some rain. Just so you know, if you didn't look closely at that, you would have got the wrong climate zone, and it would have come up as humid continental. You would have had warm, rainy summers instead of hot. You would have had warm, rainy summers with cool, snowy winters. Notice it's not mentioning snow here. We're right on the border, so it might snow once in a while right where we're at, but it's saying it's going to usually be rainy and it's going to be hot in the summer. Okay? Vegetation zones. Some of you are getting this now. How to play this game. We come to the vegetation zones. We give it a look here. I'm going to zoom in again to make sure I know what I'm doing. Oh, golly. It is right on the edge. What green is that? It looks like the darker green. Here's the darkest green. Here's the medium green. And then here's the light green out over here. So it's either the dark or the light. I'm going with the dark for vegetation zones. And if you look here, you see the darkest is a coniferous forest. So this is what I'm going to want to use, is coniferous forest right there down in my answer. So I come down and I give it vegetation zone. And now I need a definition, same as before. I come here and I take a look at C for coniferous forest. And it says maybe coniferous forest, a vegetation zone of mainly. I start with the word mainly evergreen trees with needles and cones. Oh yeah, coniferous has that word cone in it. Coniferous. Okay. And it does it again. I might just have to do that every time. I don't know why it's doing that, guys. But there you have our next box. Moving on to population. I need to switch maps again. I need to go to that same old spot, and you can be looking up top each time if you forget where it's at. Holy cow, look at this mess. Well, luckily I'm getting good at where I'm at. 40 degrees north comes right in here. Guess what? It's right there. It's going to be in the purple. It's in the purple zone, and it's really close to this black dot, which notice all the states going up through here. There's two things I see that are new. One is Philadelphia. That's that black dot. The big word Washington over here is our nation's capital. And this black dot right here at the base of Long Island is for New York, which is written right over the top of Connecticut. What a pain in the rear that is to try and read. But the important thing I see is it's densely populated, purple, with the city of Philadelphia right nearby. So if we come back down, purple, it said. Purple, is over 250 people per square mile. So this is going to give us all sorts of stuff to say down here. People per square mile, over 250 people per square mile. Is it urban or rural? Rural, it's right by Philadelphia. I'm going to say urban. Notice all caps. Boom. And nearby cities, Philadelphia is nearby. To be honest, New York City isn't far. And neither, for that matter, is Washington, D.C., I guess. I mean, it's purple. It's as urban as it gets. It's crowded. Okay. Finally, we have economic activity to do. We're on to the last one. We come back up and take a look at our last map, economic activity. And now we're looking at this area, using the mouse to scroll around as needed. I've seen students zooming with their Chromebooks, so I know that you know how to do that. Oh, golly. So on the red line, or on the line, but it's red there. We've got blue, that's commercial fishing. I remember that one. And then there's this red color. Okay, that's going to be, I think that's the land use. Let's check that out. Land use. Red is trade and manufacturing. Blue is commercial fishing. And that's all the only colors I see. There was some commercial farming, but it's a ways away. If you're right here where my pointer is, there is some orange down in the southwest corner of that circle, but that's a ways away from our point. I think we're just here on the coast of New Jersey. I don't think there is any commercial farming. So I'm going to come down to my last box, economic activity, for land use, numbered list. What we have? We had first, commercial fishing. And then second, notice we're making a numbered list, we have trade and industry, which probably makes sense. There's going to be a lot of people there, lots of factories, lots of people to work in factories, and so probably a lot of jobs. Okay, so there'd be a lot of people. That makes sense. Resources. What do we see up here? Honestly, in this area, I don't see a lot of resources. The lightning bolt falls within my circle when I click on it. I could maybe mention that. It looks like it's actually up in New York, but let's go ahead and look at that and include it. It's close. It's not a long ways away. Hydroelectric power. Okay, that's dams. Remember, like Canyon Ferry Dam. So let's go ahead and put, whoops, sorry, we don't need to define. We need to put, unless you don't know what a dam is, then we could. Hydroelectric power dams, or just a dam. Okay? We are now done. We have completed, there you go, location A. And we now have to do location B and location C. And I'm going to leave you to do that. Okay? That should do it. We'll be all set. Thursday, we're going to do the second part of this challenge. So this is due on Tuesday. I will correct them. And then on Thursday, we're going to go ahead and do the final part of this challenge. And Friday is going to be our assessment over this mapping lab unit and how much we've learned on the whole darn thing. So take your time, plot these points carefully. Best of luck, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.